Good morning, welcome to the channel, and today we are going to be back on the Mazda CX-5. I have a previous video doing the rear brakes and now the front brakes are due. So just do a quick walkthrough on torque specs and all that. It should be pretty straightforward. There's no maintenance mode you have to do like the rears because obviously no electronic parking brake in the front. But they're pretty low, very low, so go ahead and swap some new pads and rotors on. Also, if you haven't watched any of my other videos, I did get a shop and a lift now, so it's going to be a lot easier than laying on the ground. Okay, yeah, we're extremely low pad material wise. Definitely getting there. Rotor's got a decent lip on it too, so yeah, we'll go ahead and get the new stuff out and get this apart. Alright, hopefully that's a good view. I gotta get a new tripod. So we'll start with the caliper bolts, the slide bolts. There were 14. May want to leave the bottom one in until you break the top one loose. Noted. Alright, with this you want to note the little positions your slides have, so they kind of lock into place there. Same on the bottom. So when you go put it back together, make sure you're lined up how you should be on that. Sorry, get better light. Yeah. Okay, so with that, hold the camera at the same time. I'm popping this off. Here, so I will secure that with some zip ties, but just to show, those are the pads and we can see how very low they are. Kind of interesting that it's definitely lower on the top rather than the bottom, so the pads weren't really wearing evenly, but we'll go ahead and pop these out. Let me secure this first, pop these out, and then we'll pull our caliper bracket and the rotor. The caliper's tied up out of the way. Pop these off. Definitely extremely low. There's the wear sensor. It looks like it was just about to touch, so it's pretty wild. These things get really low before the wear sensor actually touches. Alright, the caliper bracket bolts are a 17. Probably pretty tight. May have to get a wrench and a hammer for this. Just needed a bigger ratchet for that one. These do have Loctite on them, so we'll have to reapply some thread locker. Since we're replacing the rotor, I don't care about hitting it on the surface, so we'll just get this broke loose. There we go. And the rotor's off. Next, I'm going to take a wire brush, go over this real quick and clean it up. Okay, so for pads and rotors, got the Centric premiums. There's the part number there. I'll also put it in the description. So it should have the anti-rust coating around the hub and around the vents. And then with that, it came with a kit in on Rock Auto. So this is their Posi-Quiet ceramic pads. So we'll go ahead and brake clean this off. I always want to brake clean because these usually got some anti-rust like coating on it so it doesn't rust in the packaging. So brake clean it off, wipe it down. We'll put the rotor on, then we'll clean up the bracket for the pads, get the pads greased up, grease the slide pins, and get it all together. Okay, we wiped off our new rotor. Slide it on. I like to use 2 lugs to kind of hold it in place. There we go. So here are the pads, the brackets, and it looks like you got to put the clips on yourself for the like the wear sensor. I've said this before in other videos. If there's nothing wrong with the original OEM clips, I leave them. I just clean them. I've not had good luck with like some of these clips being too long, or they slide back and forth and then they contact the brake rotor, make a squealing noise, like on my my F350. So there's nothing wrong with these. I just clean them up and reuse them. Obviously, it's personal preference. Do what you want, but I will be cleaning these and reusing the factory ones. Okay, on the like the rear brakes in the Mazda, these slide pins are different. So I do them one at a time. I've been asked on the other video which one goes where. I honestly, I pull them out and put them back in where they came from originally. So just do them one at a time, clean the grease off, and then re-grease them with this Seal Glide brake lubricant. So it's a silicone-based brake lubricant. As you can see, this one's got a little black piece on there. So I was saying, I pull them out one at a time and just make sure they go back in the same way they came out. Alright, so I got some medium strength Loctite, the blue kind. So we'll go ahead and add some to our bolts here. Alright, so the front bracket torque is 68 to 81 foot-pounds. Gotta love Mazda giving ranges instead of exact numbers. So scoot you around here. I'm going kind of in the middle. I'm doing it at 75, which again, with the Loctite and stuff, it's not going to go anywhere. Okay, that's the brake caliper bracket torqued. So I guess what these are the wear indicator. It comes with 4, so I guess you could put one on every pad. I mean, there's a spot on each side. I'm just going to put one on the, I believe it's the back. Go check, just like from factory. see, I have the pads here. Yeah, there's not one on the front. Yeah, so it should just be the back top. So I'll do the same going back together, because yeah, you probably won't be able to do it. It may interfere with the caliper, so just doing it just how factory is. So I'll clip one of these on the upper part of the back pad. Also, it appears all 4 pads are identical, so I don't believe it matters which goes where, front or the front side or the back side. So alright, so we got our little tab thing on the upper part. We'll go ahead and lube around the pads. Put some on the back of the pad. Should just pop in just like that. And same for the front one. All right, our pads are in. Now we'll get the little tool to push this back in. I have a tool for it. I've used big channel locks in the past with no issues. I've had people up in arms about channel locks, but honestly, I've done it for years, never had issues. But I do have the proper tool, so I'll go ahead and probably use one of the old pads, and we'll compress that and then get that bolted on and torqued, and that's pretty much it. Sorry, again, I need a better tripod, but it's a little up high. So I got an old pad in on the bottom here with this tool, and then this backing plate here. So what I'm gonna do is just screw this around, and it's just gonna push against this backing plate and push the caliper in. So the cap, I do have the cap loosened on the brake reservoir as well, as obviously it's gonna push the fluid back up through the system. So I'll go ahead and start doing that. Not gonna really be able to see anything, but all right. Pushed all the way flush. I think it goes without saying too, make sure your brake fluid reservoir isn't completely full when you start pushing this in. So if you've had a flush done and they've topped off the brake fluid at some point and you never had your pads done, you're more than likely going to push excess fluid out and everywhere. So you may need to take a little syringe or something and pull some of the fluid out before you start if your brake fluid's super full. So we'll go ahead and clip the our little zip tie here and get this lined up on there. Again, like I said earlier, make sure you got these lined up with the slots in there, and then get your bolts in. These bolts did not have any type of Loctite on them, so these just screw in and torque. Okay, and again, to point out, got it lined up with the grooves, flat side against the flat side in there. Okay, for the caliper pins, it's 23 to 28 foot-pounds. So please note this is a 2017 with a single piston caliper. So from what I read, there is the 2.5T, which is 2019, has a dual piston front caliper. So your pins are going to be a much higher torque. But this is a base a base 2.5 non-turbo, so single piston. So torque for this is 23 to 28 foot-pounds. So again, we'll go somewhere in the middle at like 25, 26. All right, and that's it for the brakes. They're pretty simple on this car. You don't have any crazy like brackets or anything. Everything kind of pops right in. We'll go ahead and get the wheel torqued, and I'll go ahead and knock out the other side. Again, wheel torque's in the middle between 80 and 108 foot-pounds. So I guess I don't know what I've done on this in the past. I guess probably I'll do around 90. So torque around 90 in the middle. So yeah, I'll get the wheel on and get this side finished up.